Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome back to Reddit and Set It. I'm Shawnee Louise, and I will be bringing you through the book this week. So, I read the book Fat Chance Charlie Vega. It was written by Crystal Maldonado, and it is honestly one of the sweetest, most innocent books I've ever read. So, it is a young adult fiction and the back jacket or the description that you'll find says it is a coming of age. Coming of age as a fat brown girl in white Connecticut suburb is hard. Harder when your whole life is on fire, though. And so we follow a teenager, a fat brown girl named Charlie Vega, as she's kind of dealing with some things. Like, her father has passed, so she's dealing with her mom. And her father was kind of the, for lack of better explanation, the preferred parent. And now she's got her mom, and she has her best friend who's kind of, the awesome girl in school. She's skinny, she's smart, she's athletic, she's pretty. And so she's trying to navigate her world, and from her perspective, everything, like it says, is on fire. Her mom is a very strong character, I feel is the best way to put it. Her best friend is one of the most supportive people. And kind of just throughout the whole book, those things that frustrate you, those things that make you mad, are simply representations of the fact that this is a teenage story, right? Charlie Vega is very aware of her weight. Her mother makes sure of that. Charlie is very aware of the fact that a lot of the boys are not exactly checking for her, and she kind of atones that to the fact that she's overweight. It also suggests that she doesn't really dress for her size. She wants to. She follows the bloggers and the fat girl fashion and stuff like that. But she doesn't really put that much effort into it regularly. But she's a great student. She does well in her classes. She loves to write. She has a job. She's a good kid. And this follows her as she learns about herself, as she learns about love interests, as she is forced to change the perspective on the life that she's living. So you start the story and she gives you the narrative of the life that she's living, and the story supports her narrative. The story kind of proves her right? This is exactly what's going on. But then as the story happens and she starts confronting the people in her life about the narrative that she has created, they begin looking at her like, no one has ever said that to you. I don't know where you got that narrative from. And you find out that she's kind of looking at everything through her insecure glasses. And it's just so sweet and so genuine and so real, to be honest. In this book, there is a boy, and today he's absolutely going to be my highlight character. And okay, so the highlight character for this episode, his name is Brian. He is a boy at Charlie's school. They share, I believe, an art class together. They are co-workers as well. And he is my highlight character because he's just the sweetest thing possible. He represents everything that Charlie needed. He represents everything that Charlie wanted. And, she's 16, so God only knows where their relationship's going to go. It could last, it couldn't last. But as a first experience, as the first experience after the boy that she had a crush on for years, I think this boy is amazing, right? He is sweet, and he is thoughtful, and he is funny, And so he's absolutely my highlight character. It almost went to Charlie's best friend, but I think Brian deserves the highlight character. For the blackout character, hands down, no questions asked, it goes to her mother. Her mother is obliviously horrible. If you were to ask me, her mother used to be fat and now isn't fat and believes that anything that related to the fat is terrible. She talks trash about her daughter's clothing. She talks trash about her daughter's weight. She talks trash about the food that she eats, the boys that she likes, the friends that she has. Like, she is not supportive in any way. And what makes her lack of support so much worse is the fact that she thinks she's being supportive. The fact that she genuinely believes that she's helping Charlie, that she's doing something right by Charlie, when in reality she's destroying this girl, is unfortunate for Charlie and terrible for their relationship, right? Like, you can tell that she means well, but meaning well and doing well are two very different experiences. And that's what's going on in this book with her mother. So if I were to rate this book out of the comfy chairs, I believe I'd have to give this book, I'm going to go 3.5 chairs. 3.5, 3.8 chairs. And I say that because there was no real, I like a book with drama. I like a book with drama. I like a book that's got me on the edge of my seat. I like a book that's got me talking back to it. And with this book, it's not a bad book. I'm trying to find the right word to say. But this book is very sweet. And I mean, the mother had me kind of talking back to her, but it wasn't like a let me come into this book type of thing. It was just like a, you don't hear how crazy you sound. And so this book, I'll give it a 3.8. I'd give it a 3.8 just because I want more. I like my stories with more drama. I like my stories to be a little bit more extreme. I like my stories to, I don't know, just to do a little bit more. This book for me was a very quick read and I enjoyed it. Like, it was a good break from some of the extra things that I tend to read. Some of the things that I read that have an unreasonable amount of just stuff going on, right? Would I recommend this book? Absolutely. Especially to a teenager or a young adult, I would absolutely suggest this book because it speaks from that perspective. And thinking from that perspective, every action makes sense. Every overreaction makes sense. And yeah, that's it. Today we are going to be talking about You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty by Akwaeke Emezi, I believe is the name. This, if you want messy, this story is messy. This is messy mess. Like, it's ridiculous. Okay, so the summary of the story would be a fresh and seductive novel about a young woman seeking joy while healing from loss. Our main character's name is Vega, and she lost her husband in a car accident. You find that out almost immediately. It's been 5 years since that happened, and she's kind of refusing to date or put herself out there. Her best friend, who's amazing, her best friend ends up convincing her to go ahead and try dating. She dates one guy, she dates another guy, and she kind of just becomes friends with this guy, Nasir. He offers her a great opportunity. She chooses to take it. And it is just messy, mess from there. Like, I can't, as I was reading the book, it just kept getting worse. Not the I don't think the story kept getting worse, but the messy just kept getting messier and messier. Like she couldn't have, it couldn't have gone, like there was no good way to have this go with the way that Emezi placed everything. Like I feel like there was no good choice for Faye to make. One choice makes her happy, the other choice makes other people happy. And I know you should probably always choose yourself over other people, but the way that these things have gone down, it's kind of terrible how these things went down. She's an artist, and so she gets this opportunity to show her art, and her art is based in her trauma. She's kind of defined by the trauma that she went through. And I understand that everyone processes trauma differently. I understand that everyone goes through their trauma differently. But her trauma is her. Like, that's all we're given of her is her trauma. And it's a lot. And then it's kind of defined as if, like, this one thing that goes right, it may never go right for her again. She didn't really have a choice when she really did have a choice. But I get it, girl. Choose you. Do what you gonna do. Be happy in whatever you choose. Just, damn, if she didn't destroy some relationships and just some people's self-esteem on the way down. Like, golly. I enjoyed the writing on this story. This again was a very quick read. I think because I'm someone who likes to read about drama and hear about drama as long as it has nothing to do with me and mine. And so the mess in this story had me at, had me by the collar. It was yoking me up, you know what I'm saying? So if I were to rate this book, I think I would give it, I'd give it about a 3.5 maybe. I'm giving it a 3.5 because it was kind of, sorry y'all, my phone keeps going off. It was kind of cliche. The story was also kind of, like, it was messy, but I feel like I didn't buy into the characters enough for the amount of mess that I got. Like, her best friend's mess was believably messy, but hers was so just perfect that it was beautiful to read, and I enjoyed going through her mess, but it also was like, girl, you've got everything you need, you've got everything you want, like, come on. So for my characters, my highlight character is going to be Faye's best friend. Right now, her name is not happening for me, but she checked Faye when she needed to be checked. She supported her when she needed to be supported. She was like the one solid, like, she was a mess and some of the stuff she was going through was a mess, but she did not feel messy. And it was kind of like she was the only one that did not feel messy in everything that was going on. That leaves me with my blackout character. And my blackout character is going to a limb. I feel like it has to go to a limb. A limb is one of the love interests. And he's going to have to take this L for me. A limb needs to catch these hands. I understand wanting to fall in love. I understand wanting to follow your heart and having missed an opportunity and wanting to take advantage of a new opportunity. But to do that to your son, bro? For real? Your son? To then act like you're the one being wronged
when clearly you are the one in the wrong, to play in somebody's face and then be hurt when they got mad. I can't. I can't. You're absolute garbage for that. Like, how are you not? I just, needless to say, that is my blackout character. Alim is my blackout character. Out of 5 comfy chairs, I would give this book 3-ish. I would give this book 3-ish. It was a quick read / listen. It was very interesting. It was very messy. I love me a good little mess. But I don't know, by the end of the book I wasn't satisfied. I wasn't okay. Like, I was okay, but I wanted more from the book. Like, I feel like it should have done more with the mess that it created. So it's going to get 3 chairs out of 5 from me. The last book for this episode, you're getting a 3 for. The last book for this episode is called The Last Girls Standing. This book is written by Jennifer Dugan. When looking for like a summary on the book, the summary I would say is it tells the story of Sloan and Cherry, 2 survivors of a summer camp massacre that left all their fellow counselors dead. That's basically what the whole thing is. So it picks up a little bit after the massacre, and we're dealing primarily with Sloan and Cherry, kind of with Sloan's mom and kind of with Cherry's mom, but the 2 girls are the main characters. And Miss Jennifer. May I call you Miss Jennifer? Or Miss Dugan? What the hell? This book is an absolute mind trip. So you are told that a group of people came into a summer camp and murdered everyone except for Sloan and Cherry. Sloan and Cherry are the only 2 survivors. Cherry saved Sloan's life, but somehow Sloan doesn't remember anything. She doesn't remember what happened. She has bits and pieces, but she doesn't really know. And she's not doing very well faring with all of this. And so her mother's taking her to therapist after therapist. I think she's at a psychotherapist by the time we meet her. And for some reason, she no longer believes what she's been told about what happened. And so we follow her on this journey of trying to figure out who is lying to her and who is telling the truth. And we are led to believe that people are lying to her. And then we are led to believe that only some people are lying to her. And then we're led to believe that there's a conspiracy. And then that she's crazy. And then that she's right. And then when the book ends and the dust settles and we find out the truth, I honestly have no idea what the truth is. I honestly have no idea what pieces of the puzzle were put together. Like, I listened to the book. I listened to the book. And what's so confusing is that the end of the book was handed to us in a box with a beautiful bow. And I think the end of the book was crafted perfectly. And yet, it was handed to me. I opened it. I witnessed it. I loved it. And I have no idea what I was given. My request is that if any of you choose to read this book, and please do, read it, and then head over to Reddit and Set It on IG and tell me what I missed. Because, baby, I missed something. I swear I missed something. The book made me angry and made me confused and made me frustrated. And then there was nothing. And yet, I am handing this book a 5 out of 5 for the comfy chairs. Because I've never been so okay with the way things ended. But if you were to ask me what happened, I would not be able to tell you. Because I don't know. This was an amazing book. The characters are upfront and complicated. The journey that you're placed on has you looping and backstepping and running forward and stopping. The way that the story is told, the intricate details of the story. This book was amazing. And that's all I have. That's all I've got to say about it. Like, it is a young adult novel. It is a book with a homosexual relationship. So if that's not your bag, that's what it is. There is some gruesomeness to this book, as a whole camp of counselors were murdered. There's language in the book, if that matters to you. But I would absolutely 100% suggest you read this book. Because, one, it was a great experience. And I would also suggest you listen to this book specifically. I don't always suggest that you listen to the books, but this one I think you should listen to. So one, there's that. But it was a journey. It was an experience. It was a story. It was everything you want in a book, even though I loved every bit of it and I have no idea what happened at the same time. So 5 out of 5 comfy chairs. My highlight character, and I know I'm doing this backwards, my highlight character would have to be Cherry. Because Cherry was patient, Cherry was kind, Cherry was firm, Cherry was funny. She was all of the things. And I would have to say, I'm trying to give y'all a blackout character, but because I don't know where anybody stands or who is real and who is not and what happened, I don't think I can give you a blackout character. Because I'm not even sure who I'm supposed to be disliking. I just know I like Cherry. But when it comes to everybody else, I don't know who I'm supposed to like and who I'm supposed to hate. And who did who wrong and if it actually happened. Or I can't give you a blackout character. I don't know. I do know that I'm sorry that this has taken so long. If you are someone who listens regularly, I am sorry that this takes so long. Like I said, life's been kicking my ass. But my goal is to start doing these more regularly again, hopefully. And just stick with me, baby. Please stick with me. And give me some book suggestions if you have them. Head over to Reddit and Set It on Instagram and send me a message for some book suggestions, because trying to find them on TikTok and Book Talk and Instagram and all of that is slowing me down. Also, if you're into audiobooks, but you don't always have the money to buy an audiobook and you haven't discovered Libby yet, Libby as in library, Libby yet, go discover it. It's just like a library, so you have to check the book out. So sometimes you gotta wait a million years for that book. But baby, free is free. I'll wait for free. And you can read other books while you're waiting for the book that you want. Okay? Okay. So I hope you enjoyed your 3 for today. I was trying to get us as close to 30 minutes as possible. That's what we average typically, 20 to 30. So I hope between now and the next time that we meet that you grab a good book, curl up, and get lost in another world. Peace out.